All right, well, first at 10, only on WHSV, a look at the growing opioid and drug addiction problem across the Valley and West Virginia.
WHSV's Katie Kaler has more on what area leaders and good neighbors are doing in our area. She joins us in the studio.
According to the Centers for Disease Control, every day 44 people across the country die from prescription drug overdoses and nearly 30 from heroin. Just today, another step taken with the passage of the CARA Act in the Senate. This growing epidemic has everyone from recovering addicts to lawmakers searching for answers.
So is it fair to say that there is a drug problem across the state of Virginia?
Oh, it's wider than the state of Virginia. It's huge.
In 2014, drug overdoses in Virginia and West Virginia claimed the lives of more than 1,600 people. Across the country, more than 28,000. That number has quadrupled since the year 2000. From lawmakers to law enforcement to recovering addicts, there is no easy answer. On Capitol Hill, West Virginia Senator Joe Manchin is pushing for change.
20 years ago, if you were fooling with drugs, that was a criminal. That was a crime. We put you in jail. Guess what? 20 years later hadn't helped. You're still addicted, hasn't cured anybody. Treatment centers aren't there. We haven't done a thing. Now if we start basically looking at addiction as an illness, and an illness needs treatment.
In the Valley, law enforcement are working to combat changing drug profiles and the way addiction is approached.
The stigmatism of the junkie on the street is no longer, and that's just not what we're dealing with. It's a disease. It should be treated as a disease.
The Northwest Virginia Regional Drug Task Force is working with community partners, including medical providers, to find treatment solutions.
Yeah, back in the day when we were working a lot of cocaine cases, we weren't seeing people dying from it. You know, occasionally someone would overdose and die from it, but that's where the heroin and the opiates are so bad, is that people are just dying from it.
So far this year, 4 people have died from drug overdoses in the Northern Valley. There has been a 170% increase in overdoses and deaths since 2012. There is no simple solution, but Special Agent Perry says peer-to-peer recovery is one of the most effective, and that is exactly what is happening in Petersburg, West Virginia.
Some of the saddest things a parent could probably ever see is whenever they walk into the bathroom and see their son pass out on the floor because they're overdosing on drugs. And you know, I started to realize the hurt and the cause that I've done to my family and my friends and, you know, my relationship, and, you know, it's just really helped me change.
Celebrate Recovery is a 12-step faith-based program welcoming anyone with any sort of hang-up in life, including drug addiction.
There's a lot of opportunity in the state of West Virginia to help people who struggle with addiction, and it's just not happening. We lack the facilities and the need for this area, and without it, I'm afraid that we're gonna continue to see people just dig a pit for themselves and get worse in their addiction.
With little to no affordable treatment options nearby, Celebrate Recovery brings hope to a community gripped by addiction.
Addiction has taken this community by a stronghold, and it's sad. I'm constantly seeing people that I went through high school with just addicted. I mean, I've lost friends, I've been to funerals.
I mean, it's devastating. You know, you have, when you're on drugs, you have to get money for your drugs, and it devastates your community.
And that accessibility just might save a life. In a way, they say jail doesn't always help.
When someone needs help at that moment, that might be the only moment that you have to help them get off the drugs right then and there. Sometimes it could actually cost them their life.
Celebrate Recovery is not a rehab center, but a support system, with leaders helping others through the same things they have been through, leading by example.
Letting go of my addiction was the best thing I ever did. Since I've turned my life over and quit using drugs, my life has been so much more rewarding now than it ever was whenever I was an addict.
And the main message, a simple 4-letter word.
Don't give up hope, and don't give up on yourself.
That's what we give here, is hope.
You can find Celebrate Recovery locations across the valley from Strasburg and Petersburg to Waynesboro and Stanton, including right here in Harrisonburg. And for more on the heroin epidemic across the country, be sure to tune in to ABC's David Muir's special report tomorrow on 2020.